Vanakkam. Welcome back to our course on SAP Materials Management. In this session, we will be discussing about organization structure. Organization structure is the key for a successful implementation of SAP. To achieve a flawless and seamless execution of business processes, defining organization structure is important step. All SAP S/4HANA organization structure are agreed between various user departments and also the project implementation team in the beginning of the project itself. So this is very critical and very important. Before going into the session, let us see the answers in the quiz of the last session 2-4. What are the key master data for procure to pay? That is in materials management. So the master data are material master, business partner, purchase info record, source list. Of course, we need to have bill of materials and also production version. And then list some special procurement types involved in purchasing. So some special procurement types are subcontracting, interplan, consignment, and pipeline. Which are the modules integrated with materials management? We told that MM is a highly integrated module. It is integrated with at least these modules like FICO, PP, SD, QM, plant maintenance, and other modules also. Purchase requisitions can be created manually only. True or false? False, because purchase requisitions can be created manually and also through system from material requirements planning MRP. What is the purpose of getting quotations from vendors? See, a company may look for a new vendor because of various reasons. It may have a new material for which they look for some new vendor, or a current vendor is having some problem, or the current vendor is not having sufficient capacity. So because of these things, they maybe look for new vendor. To go for new vendor, they want to get different quotations, they have to find list. So there are many reasons involved. This is whatever reasons given are some basic reasons. Goods receipt can be done only from the purchase. True or false? Goods receipt can be done from purchase only, not only from purchase but also from production. So it is false statement. What is three-way match? Three-way match is matching the details in purchase order, goods receipt, and invoice during invoice verification. This is called three-way match. In SAP implementation, number of decisions made to ensure a successful project. The decisions, especially on organization structure, where how to define client, how to define company code, plant, storage locations. These are all very important in the SAP project starting. So that is what we are going to discuss in this session. Arriving SAP organization structure in SAP involves inter-module and also inter-discussions between various organizations and various departments. It has to cover the legal aspect of the company's organization structure, and also it has to meet the reporting needs. In other words, the business process owners, business analysts, and SAP consultants review what is the organization structure of the company, and then they start to map how to do it with the SAP. Specific structure is defined for each function, like a finance and controlling, and then sales and distribution, materials management, and production planning, quality management. All these are interwoven. Interwoven means everything is dependent on each other. There is a close relationship between each organization structure. A practical approach to adopt finalizing the organization structure is to ensure that the organization structure is not defined too generic so that it is losing its significance, or it is not defined too contrast like that, or it is so minute so that every details are becoming cumbersome. Collating and consolidating is becoming very difficult. Also, while defining organization structure, they should consider what is the future of the organization. For example, future expansion, future growth, all these things they have to see. I mean, there should be a forecasting about organizational elements, that how it is the geographical growth or a profitable growth, all those things. So that the organization structure is going to support all these things. So configuring accurate organization structure is key for SAP successful implementation. This point we are repeating again and again because this is very critical. From materials management perspective, defining proper purchase organization, plant, storage location, and purchasing groups are the element of the organization structure. So separate organization structure elements exist for finance. Also, there is a separate organization structure exists for factories like plants, distributions, and also sales. Here we can see the SAP organization structure, how it is mapped with the business function. So whatever we discussed earlier, this is in the other way to seeing the SAP organization with the business need. So you have to be comfortable with the seeing what is SAP organization structure, what is the business function. Those mapping is very important. Client is the highest element of the SAP systems organization structure. Normally, the client represents a company or group of companies within which there are several independent company units may be there. SAP system can contain several clients in a logical units. The additional organization elements and master data transactions are created and managed within a client. A client is an organizational and legal entity in SAP system. The master data are protected within the client because the data cannot be accessed from outside the system, or we cannot edit those things from outside the another system. Business users who are having repeatedly access to the master data, they have to do the perform the transaction within that client. So the master data which are there in one client is visible only within that client. They cannot be displayed or changed from another client. Multiple clients may exist in SAP system. Each of the clients will have their different objectives. And a client has its own set of tables and user data. Objects can be either client dependent or client independent. Right? So we'll see that now what are the client dependent, what are the client independent. From SAP's landscape perspective, normally there are three clients. One is that, or also they called as a systems or servers. We discussed in the last session. That is the development, quality assurance, and production system. The actual configuration of SAP system takes place in development system, which is then transported to quality, and then it is going to the production where actual transactions are happening. Please note that some settings done in the plant may have impact across the client levels, all company codes, and all the plants. For example, QM active for a material will activate quality for that material across the client. Basic 1 and basic 2 views of materials master applicable for all the plants in the company code. So this has to be considered. The company code is a familiar term in SAP, but understanding the company and company code is very important. A company is a legal entity which is formed to carry out the business, which is maybe commercial or industrial purpose. A company may be organized in various ways for tax and financial liability purposes. Companies are generally organized to earn profit from the business activities, right? But there may be some non-profit charities, but normally it is a profit-making companies. Each country has their own hierarchy of company and corporate structure, and there may be some similarities there also. In SAP, we can see there is one company and company code. There are two different terms, company and company code. SAP defines a company as the smallest organization unit for which organization must prepare legal and financial statements. A company can contain one or more company codes. But these company codes must use the same chart of accounts and the same fiscal year breakdown. So these things probably you can also get discussion with your financial colleagues and also your accounting department team. And then company code is defined. It is defined below the client in SAP organization structure. SAP defines company code as the smallest organization unit, which is a complete and self-contained set of accounts are defined. So anything which is coming there in the accounts, this is coming under the company code, where we have to define the profit and loss statement and also the balance sheets. So normally a company code represents legally independent companies. Using more than one company code is also okay, so that they can define the organization's profit and loss and other things, and measurements in the two different businesses can be done. For example, they are doing some manufacturing in one area but assembling the products in another area. They can define them as two companies and they can do it as a different legal things, legal company codes. Then they can find out what is the profit and loss and monitor the balance sheet and other activities. So these are the different ways to handle the company codes. So anyhow, company code definition is the responsibility of the finance consultants and finance team in discussion with the CFO of the organization under the management of the organization, considering how to do the reporting and also meet the legal requirements. A plant is an organization within logistics. It can classify a plant from production, procurement, warehouse, and planning. A plant may be a manufacturing unit, or it may be head office, or it may be distribution center, and it may do a lot of activities here, like physical production, or managing inventory, managing demand and planning production, performing material requirement planning. Like these, many activities can be carried out at the plant level. In the organization structure of SAP system, we can assign one company code to a plant. However, we can assign multiple plants to the same company code. This is one important thing we need to understand. Though calendar is not the typical organization structure, for all planning and scheduling things to happen properly, it is important that a calendar is defined and attached to the organization. That is why I just mentioned here. Calendar is created considering the holidays and also within the national holidays, local holidays, weekly holidays within these things, and it has to be assigned to the plant. And also maybe individual work center also we can assign, because having a proper scheduling, having a proper working, and also to manage the material receipts, to raise the number of lead time, goods receipt time, all these things are considered in the calendars. So it is important to understand how the calendar is defined. Storage location is a physical or virtual storage site for the materials. Physical storage location may be like storing raw materials or spares, components, return materials from market, finished goods, or work in progress. Those things can be stored there. And these materials are stored here in these storage locations. Inventory management on quantity basis is carried out in the storage location level. Physical inventory is carried out at the storage location level. We can create as many storage locations in a plant, but a storage location can be assigned to only one plant. And also, when there is no warehouse management is implemented, within storage location, we can identify for each metal one bin, a specific bin. We can assign like a fixed bin to identify the material where is it available. Sales organization will be defined by the sales and distribution consultants, but still there is a integration with this. We need to have a basic understanding. Sales organization is an organization unit that sells and distribute the products and services. Also, it negotiates the terms of sales and is responsible for the transaction within the sales organization. A legal selling unit responsible for revenue and product liability, which is having the legal organization, the sales organization. Sales orders are created within the sales organization at the header level, and master data maintenance of customers and pricing are done at the sales org level, and the plants are assigned to the sales organization. Each plant will be assigned to the sales organization. Distribution channel is through which materials or services reach in the customer. For example, wholesaler, a retailer, OEM. These are the different ways a company may sell the product. These things can be defined as distribution channel. And sales orders belong to specific distribution channels or the header levels. Master data maintenance for customers pricing are done at the sales organization distribution channel level. And the distribution channels are assigned to sales organization. Sales organization distributions are combined and they are taken as a one organization. A division is a product group that can be defined for a wide ranging spectrum of products. Divisions represent segment of company motivated by specific market requirements and then commercialize the certain products. Division is normally attached to the sales organization and the distribution channel. A material can be assigned to one division only. A division should ideally identify a product category with its own dedicated sales team and corporate the structure to support it. A combination of sales organization, distribution channel and division is called a sales area. Here we can see the sales organization example is national sales and export sales are two sales organization. Distribution channel within the national sales is wholesale sales and retail sales. And within wholesale we have cars for retail markets, then retail we have motorbikes like this. Combining these things, this is called a sales area. So these are the things which will be taken care by SD people, but it is just the basic things, right? So we need to understand those organization structure. If you are not so clear, don't worry about it. Okay. So controlling area is the one which is defined within the controlling module. It represents a full self-contained cost accounting system and internal reporting structure, because reporting is very important. Reporting structure. A controlling area can encompass one or more company codes. Controlling area can be covered for different company codes. So whatever we discuss, all these things are consolidated given as a one SAP organized structure here. Like start with the client, then this controlling area, chart of accounts, which are defined by the FICO people, and then company code is defined. Under company code, we have the plant, sales organization, and then we have purchasing group also. Then under plant, we have store locations. Under store location, we have warehouse. Under sales organization, we have distributions, divisions, and also it is combined as to form sales office, sales group. Like this is the overview of SAP organization structure, how is it defined. So wherever you are working, right, first you should understand what is the SAP organization structure defined for your company. That is what is the first point you have to understand. And maybe you can mark a chart like this and understand how it is linked one by one. Then you will be able to understand these points, and also you will understand how the reports are generated, how transactions are generated. For materials management, the organization structure is combining these things like a client, company, plant, store location. These are the basic, the purchase organization, purchasing group. These are the basic things required for the material management organization structure. Just to refresh, client is group of combination of legal or organization business for a commercial purpose. Like it is like a corporate group. Company code is the level which represents the independent accounting unit within the client. Company code has its own balance sheet and profit and loss account. For example, a subsidiary company or a member of a corporate group like that. Plant is an operational unit within company code. For example, it may be a production facility or it may be branch office. And then purchase organization. It is an organization unit responsible for procuring materials or services for one or more plants and negotiating general conditions of the purchase. We will discuss about it more in the coming slides. Purchasing group is organization further subdivided in the purchasing groups who are responsible for the day-to-day activities. So this is the organization structure from materials management point of view. Purchasing organization is responsible for company's purchasing requirements. We can incorporate purchasing into company structure by assigning purchasing organization to company codes or plants. This means we can define that whether the purchasing has to be done centralized purchase to manage all companies and plants, or decentralized purchase for each company, or decentralized purchase for each plant. and they are legally responsible for completing all the contracts for the company or the plant. And a purchase organization, they are meeting the conditions of purchasing with the vendors, right? So it depends on the assignment. They may do it for one plant or more than one plant. Different kind of arrangement, whatever we discuss, centralized purchase or decentralized purchase, we'll discuss now. Here we see a purchase organization which is plant specific. For example, there is a company where the purchase departments are assigned for each plant, and each purchasing department is responsible for negotiating with the vendors, creating the contracts, issuing the purchase orders. This is called the plant specific purchase organization. Here we need to define purchase organization for each plant in SAP and assign the purchase organizations to the respective plants directly. That is what is to be done here. Next is the cross-plant purchasing organization, where purchase organizations are created, they are assigned to the company code. For example, here we have purchase organization 1 is assigned to company code 1000, which will be managing the plant 101 and 1002. This is what is this, what is the TARS plant. Cross-plant purchase organization, the single purchasing department is responsible for the procurement activities within that company for all the plants. That is what it will take care. So this is what the illustration we also shown here. If there is a need to organize a purchasing on cross-company basis, we cannot assign company code to the purchase organization. Instead of that, we have to assign the purchase organization to the plants directly without assigning it to the company code. That is important. So that is the case. If that is the case, then this is the centralized purchasing group, which is operating across the company codes for all the plants. Please take care. We should not assign to one company code. If it is assigned to one company, we cannot assign it to another company code. So that is the issue here. Okay, we have to be very careful when not doing this activity. For inventory management, as we discussed, inventory valuation will be done at the plant level, and the quantity level management will be done at the store location level. So this is for the inventory management organization structure requirement. Client, company, plant, store location. Valuation area is the organization level at which material is valuated. Plant and company code are two possible valuation areas in SAP. When stock is valuated at plant level, you can valuate a metal in different plants in different prices. When you evaluate stock at the company code level, valuation price of metal is at the same level in all company plants. SAP recommends that valuating the metal at the plant level. So plant level valuation at plant level is mandatory if you want to use either of the production planning or product cost accounts. If your system is a retail system, if it is a retail system, you have to do the valuation at the plant level. And defining the valuation level and customizing is fundamental setting. So this is very difficult to reverse. So normally valuation will be discussed by the finance team, and then they will be taking appropriate decision on this. The purchasing group is the part of the purchasing organization. That is, the purchase organization is subdivided into purchasing group, and the purchasing group is responsible for the purchasing activity on day-to-day basis. They are responsible to know purchase order management, follow up with suppliers, ensure that the inventory is reaching on time. Those kind of activities are important. And the purchase group is an independent entity. There is no assignment is required for the purchasing group. Purchasing group can be defined. It can be used in any purchase organization. So in this session, we discuss the importance of organization structure, how the business organization aligned with the SAP organization, the definition of client, company code, plant, store location, purchase organization, purchase group, and other relevant organization elements, how the relationships also established. Those things we discussed. Now let us come to the quiz for this session. So which is the highest element in organization structure, SAP organization structure? How many company codes a plant can be assigned? How many store locations can be created in a plant, in one plant? What are the different kind of purchasing arrangements based on purchasing control? We discussed three kinds now. What are the different three kinds? Can a purchasing organization assign to multiple plants? What is purchasing group? What is a recommended organization element level to evaluate the material? So these are the quiz for this session 2.5. We'll see the answers in the next session. So we just discussed what is organization structure, what is the importance of organization structure, all those things, which is very important. Also specific to MM we discussed. So in the next session, we will be talking about master data required for SAP S/4HANA materials management, that is a procure to pay functions. Please give your feedback to improve the flow and contents. Also, please recommend your friends and colleagues to subscribe to our channel so that they also get the benefit. Thank you. See you in the next session. Take care. Bye.